So before we start this episode of The Enthusiast, it's probably going to get pretty heated at some points because you and I see differently on some conferences that happened at the E3 event.
We're adults, we can handle this.
I agree, but I just want to say to everyone before I get started, no matter who you were rooting for, no matter what games you saw, the real winners were the gamers. No matter if you got what you wanted, there was something out there for everyone. I think pretty much everyone can say, hey, there are some games I want this holiday, even if not everything you wanted is there. So let's get started.
I don't agree with you. You're stupid.
With The Enthusiast.
Yes! Oh my god!
I am one of your hosts, Will Zabo. Alongside of me, the man who deserves Father of the Year award, Jesse Nazario.
Oh, thank you. That is true. You're right. It's me.
How's it going, Jesse?
It's good, man. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out here, but let's be honest. You guys are nerds. None of you had kids. Let's be honest. Nerds. Just kidding. I'm doing well, man. I woke up today for Father's Day. I got ARMS for the Switch and Bulletstorm. Both I asked for, and both I got.
Okay, so before we get into the E3 stuff, what do you think of ARMS?
ARMS, when me and my wife were playing it, I had a blast. I thought it was super fun. I really like the way the game moves. I like the fact that she doesn't play games much, and she was knocking me out a few rounds just from button mashing. When I was playing the computer, there is a learning curve like no one's business. Like, it will make you feel bad about yourself.
Really?
You're throwing punches, and the computer's like flipping off the walls, grabbing you, spanking your ass, dragging you around. Like, it's difficult. So the game starts off with a little training. I feel like it's just not enough. It's like, here's the basic controls. Good luck. The only other complaint I have, and maybe I'm crazy, I'll look it up later because I literally only got to play for about an hour, was you can't change your controls.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm playing with a Pro controller. Granted, when I tried out the demo or the thing, I had played it with motion controls. I was playing with a Pro controller, and I don't like the way the buttons are set up.
Okay.
Like, I feel like the jump and dash should be switched with the hard and heavy punch.
I'm going to assume the hard and heavy punch are triggers?
No, it's they're the two top right buttons. I forgot what it is on the Switch controllers. And jump and dodge are the two bottom buttons. You know, like the X, Y, and all that. The two bottoms are jump and dodge, and I feel like they should be up top, and your punches should be at the bottom.
Yeah, I could.
And and then the only way to block is to hold down your analog stick, where all the buttons on top are just extra punches. So I feel like if I could, I'd just switch one of those out for block. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Because if anything, it sounds like it would make more sense for the triggers to be the punches since it's left and right. And, you can play with the Joy-Cons attached, so I don't know, not that it really would matter, I guess, but it just feels like it'd be more comfortable to play like this and hitting the triggers.
I can see that. But overall, though, I was playing with my wife, we were having a blast, we were having a good time. I got a lot.
Awesome. Alright, let's get into E3. Let's just dive in.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Didn't ask me how Bulletstorm was.
Have you played it? I didn't think you played it.
Yeah, I played about 10 minutes of it.
Okay.
Why did I get Bulletstorm? That's a good question. That is a good question. Everybody heard Mask It, right? I don't know. I just really wanted it all of a sudden. It's like, I want Bulletstorm.
Okay.
I'm going to ask for it next holiday.
So the 10 minutes you played of it?
It's really good. I like it.
Okay. I was going to say, because 10 minutes doesn't sound like something, when you say, I played it for about 10 minutes, it's like, ooh, it sounded bad.
I was playing it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then my wife's like, you want to go for breakfast? And I was like, French toast, let's go.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like French toast?
That's my favorite breakfast.
I love French toast.
Me too. Now, let's get into E3.
E3!
Let's just, so before we get into each one...
You guys are fans, and you've seen that we did 2 live reactions.
Yeah.
And our Sony video got a lot of hits. I'm guessing you guys like us watching Sony. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we didn't do the other ones, unfortunately. We just didn't have the time.
I'm going to get into something we missed, since we're talking about it. Evil Within 2 announced.
No, we didn't miss that.
Yeah, we did.
No, we
personally by ourselves didn't miss it.
Oh, yeah. We didn't talk about it on the podcast. Yes.
Something I'm really excited about, man. Did you see the trailer? What you think?
I'm super excited for it. I actually I'm so excited to pre-order. It's already up for pre-order on the PS4.
I'm really digging the trailer. I love the storyline. The whole daughter thing that was a throwaway in the first game
Yeah.
is what it's all about. Like you know what? You need to say it looks good. I'm excited. It gets my little round of applause. All right.
What I will say about the trailer is they did a much better job of making Sebastian feel more relatable. Because I think that's one of the problems he had in the first game. I really
his name
like
being Sebastian.
I really liked the first game, but Sebastian as a character felt very stale, and he just wasn't very relatable. Whereas I feel like they're already doing a better job of making it feel like he has human qualities. And
Hoping to see in this one is they take lore from Resident Evil 7 and make it a very terrifying game. That's always good. Shorter. I hope this one's shorter.
I wouldn't mind shorter. The only thing I'm saying I hope they do is a lot of horror games have this problem. We've talked about it on here before. Is where towards the end it's not scary because what they do instead of sticking to the horror element is they just throw enemy after you that you've already fought. And I think that game suffered from that. It almost became like an arena at one point where you're in that guy's mind. Spoiler alert if you haven't played the first one.
You did spoil, yeah.
And there's just wave after wave of every enemy that you fought already, and you're just kind of like,
this isn't scary. Annoying,
Yeah.
but not scary. That's why I'm hoping it's shorter. I didn't get to finish the first one because when I bought it, it froze up on me after like 12 hours. I figured I was at the end towards it, putting 12 hours, and a friend of mine who just recently played it for the first time, it was a good like 16, 17-hour game. I'm like, yeah, too much for a horror game, man.
yeah, I think maybe the sweet point is 8 to 12.
Especially for a horror game, I feel like. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but I feel like a lot of the problem is though a lot of games now are trying to be like, oh, if we don't exceed this amount of hours, people won't think that we're worth it.
People
But
get pissed.
yeah,
But sometimes it's about quantity, not quality. Or quality, not quantity.
yes,
You know what I meant.
yes,
Order 1886.
I love that game.
All right, let's change direction because everybody's got E3 reaction videos. Let's make ours special. Let's just jump around. Favorite thing you've seen out of E3? Let's start off with that, man. Work our way down.
Oh man. So personally, mine might have to be Spider-Man.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
With that being said, I seen somebody commented on your Facebook and was like, Spider-Man just looked average. I don't know who that person is, but it just doesn't deserve to be there. All right? I would have not only deleted him from Facebook, personally went to his house and fist fought him. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much of a hipster you have to be? I'm not even I'm not a Spider-Man fan.
Yeah.
I think Peter Parker's the most overrated character ever. Even I'm like, that game looks, I'm going to take it back to the 90s, dope. Like, wow, I agree with you. That 100% you have every right to make that decision. It's an amazing looking game.
Yeah. I really think Spider-Man might have taken my game of the show. I'm excited for a lot of things, don't get me wrong. But man, when they showed that Spider-Man gameplay, I felt like a little kid again back when I used to play like Spider-Man 2 on the PS2.
Yeah, it did bring me back to Spider-Man 2. The whole way his mouth was working, it reminded me of that game. Like, excuse me, I have a Diet Coke. I was burping. Just the way he was running his mouth, the Kingpin thing, the way he was fighting the characters, and we were literally watching it together when he knocked that guy off the building. You were like, "Oh, Spider-Man wouldn't do that," and he pulled him back into the web, and I was like, "Spider-Man would do that." Like,
Yeah.
And also in Tiger, shout out to him. He was over the other day while we were watching the trailer again, and he did say it's one of the best redesigns I've ever seen to his costume.
I do like his costume a lot, which they also did confirm other costumes will be in the game. And like the other Spider-Man games, these costumes will give you different abilities.
I wonder if they're going to throw a story element into it, like he's got to get different costumes.
Ah.
You know what I mean? And also, we have no idea when this takes place. Is this early in his career?
Well, we know Miles Morales is also in the game.
Yes.
Which I'm like, okay, this has to. I think this is more towards the end. Because Miles Morales is already here. We know Miles Morales became Spider-Man shortly before Peter Parker died to the Green Goblin.
Yes.
But
Now, that is Ultimate Spider-Man.
I was going to
too.
say
He
that
was-
is also
I
Ultimate.
think he was only 18 in that franchise when he died. Or no, not even 17.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I'm really excited. And also, like I said, we didn't see anything huge in the trailer. There was only known villain was Kingpin.
Yes.
We didn't see any, Hammerhead or Electro or Rhino.
But we also know if this is going to be anything like the previous Spider-Man games, it's going to have a lot of those side quest stuff, and they're probably going to be like
I
that.
bet you Rhino's amazing in every Spider-Man game. Such an easy
Maybe this
villain to
time,
do.
hopefully this time he won't be in mech suit. But
He was an actual Rhino in the Amazing Spider-Man game.
yes.
I thought that was pretty clever.
So what do you want to see next?
From Spider-Man?
Yeah, like what do you like? We don't have a date yet, so obviously we're going to see more.
You can keep it very vague about the story. I would like to see some more villains.
Okay.
I also, this is going to sound really weird, I want to know what Peter Parker looks like under the mask.
Oh, okay.
I do. It makes a difference to me. Even if it's a small thing, I always like seeing. Because to me, when you play a superhero game, you become that superhero. It's like, yeah, it's cool to be able to spin around as Spider-Man, but I also want to know what that human side is from him. That's what I liked about Spider-Man 2, was every once in a while you would switch to Peter Parker, and it didn't take up much of the game, but you had to go to class, you know what I mean, for a second, or deliver pizza and stuff like that as Peter Parker. And I thought that was a neat concept. So I hope they do little things like that in it. And don't Spider-Man Web of Shadows where I don't get to see once what he looks like under the costume. Jeez, I'll learn another.
Actually, I think a lot of Spider-Man games recently you don't see Peter Parker anymore. I think
No.
they just kind of keep him in the suit now. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. What do you think of combat? Because we did see a lot of the combat.
I like the Arkham feel of it.
Yeah.
I like the big. It did look like he was switching back between web attacks and punching with no issues. And I feel like this is the first one to get that down, because I feel like no Spider-Man game has got that down well.
Yeah.
Switching simultaneously between webbing and punching and kicking, like
Especially when most of the webbing, I don't know, it feels like you had to stand still a lot.
Mm.
And in the trailer, it looked like he was flipping, and you could kind of slow motion and web.
I like just the first guy he took down where he webbed him in the face, tied his hands together, and then pulled him down to the ground. Like, yeah, that's something. I mean, it's just an awesome idea, and it's what Spider-Man's known for, is webs. And like you said, every other Spider-Man game, you really kind of had to stand still and web that way, you know?
Yeah.
So, looks good. I know Spider-Man games are really hard to program, and I remember this going back to PlayStation 1, that Spider-Man game, because you literally have to program him to be able to crawl everywhere.
Yeah.
And I want to see some hidden areas in the game that, you know what I mean, only certain people will find, because he's programmed to crawl everywhere.
So, all right, let's move on.
Oh, man, that's an awesome phone case.
Yeah. So I ordered this before the game actually came out. And I never got it. And then I went to my parents' house. For anyone who doesn't know what my phone case is, it's the Sheikah Slate from Breath of the Wild.
No.
And the only reason I'm wearing it is because I paid for it. And I'm like, I might as well put this on.
Oh, man, if I really wish I had an iPhone, or I would take that case from you now. I would buy it from you. It looks amazing.
So what was your game of the show?
That is difficult. It's going to be one to really upset you. Probably was Nintendo for sure. It's going to be so stupid. Metroid Prime 4. Just hearing that name did it for me, man.
Wow, I'm
satisfying.
actually shocked that it was Metroid and not something else. I really thought I knew what you were going to say.
Which was what?
I thought you were going to say Mario Odyssey.
I did want to say Mario Odyssey, and I'm really excited. But I cannot lie to you, I'm more excited for Metroid Prime 4 than I am Mario Odyssey. Not saying I'm not in love with Mario Odyssey, because we had a different opinion on that.
I actually agree with you in I am more excited for Metroid than I am for Mario. And part of that is I just like the Metroid series more. And we also just haven't had one.
Yeah,
so
it's not even just the Metroid. Like, I was trying to explain to a coworker the other day what was so special about Metroid Prime, and it's like, you got your first person, you got your sci-fi elements, you got your horror elements, you got your leveling up systems. Like, that game literally had everything I wanted in a game. From the first one to all three of them, I really, really liked. So I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Not Other M?
I didn't hate Other M, I hated the story.
Yeah, I didn't like Other M.
I didn't.
For the story, I can
Yeah.
agree with that. But they basically took what Prime did for mechanics.
So, I'm really excited for this Metroid Prime 4. And like I said, yeah, there was no gameplay or anything like that, but me and you argued yesterday about it, and I said, to me, it's really rare for Nintendo to let you down, so I feel like...
So here's what I'll say on the subject of Metroid Prime. Am I really excited for it? Absolutely. Do I wish they would have just showed me a logo? No. And here's why, and I told you this. I feel like if any other company would have done that, there would have been backlash. A lot of people would have been upset because companies have done it in the past, and people have been like, "Oh, you didn't show anything. You showed me a title." Yet for some reason Nintendo does it and everyone's like, oh man, I'm super excited. And even if you can say, hey, Nintendo always delivers quality games, one, that's debatable because while you think Breath of the Wild's quality, I don't really like Breath of the Wild. I can respect Breath of the Wild for how smart it is, but I don't think compared to other Zeldas it's the best Zelda that some people put it out to be. And the same goes with Mario. So while I'm really excited for Metroid, I've also seen them fail in Metroid with games like Other M. You know what I mean? So Nintendo usually does give hits, but they do have those hiccups every now and then that I think we all can.
I also feel like, too, and I mean, this is not me defending, I feel like Metroid Prime 4 is probably still really far out.
Yeah.
I don't even think they have the concept out.
Well, I mean,
I think it's more of an idea of we're doing it finally.
Well, I think just last year they even said that there was no plans for a Metroid. So
Yeah.
it had to have been decided within the past couple of months, like, hey, let's do Metroid Prime. Let's do another Metroid. People keep asking for it. Let's get them to shut up. Because we got a 2D Metroid coming, too. For the
DS.
For the 3DS. Which I'm a little upset about, too.
Why? I think that looks good, too.
I think it looks great. Super excited. Little upset that they didn't just port it also for the Switch.
I can see that.
I was like, man, I wanted something to play on my Switch. Everything that I want that's coming out for my Switch isn't until late holiday. And I'm just like, damn, like, you guys easily could have gave me an early September small game like Metroid, and you were just like, nah, only 3DS. Which I also get. You want to support the 3DS still because you guys said you were going to. I respect them for doing that. I just think it would have been nice to also get those games on the Switch to support those who bought a Switch early.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm still going to pick it up.
Yeah, me too.
It'd be one thing if we got a 3DS Metroid and they did announce Metroid Prime 4. I would have been really pissed, but the fact is we're going to get a Metroid on both. Overall, I was happy with Nintendo's presentation. I know you weren't.
I was not.
I think Mario Odyssey looked... I literally watched everything about that game, and I loved every part of that trailer.
Before I start talking about games individually, as a presentation standpoint, I felt Nintendo had one of the weaker presentations.
It did exactly what Sony did.
No. Because here's what they did that I think that was wrong. One, their transitions were weird. Not that they just showed games. I love that they just showed games. I thought the transitions were a little weird. Like you went from Xenoblade, you went to a Metroid logo, which kind of like it built hype, but then it kind of dropped me back down. You showed Mario, you showed a T-Rex for a second. I'm like, okay, this can't be Monster Hunter because they don't use that real dinosaurs in Monster Hunter. So what is this? And then it was Mario Odyssey, which kind of brought me back down again personally. We'll talk about that in a second. And then it goes to a guy talking about Pokemon. Not showing Pokemon, talking about it. Which also people got super excited for. And I'm like, I don't care.
Pokemon
OG! Don't sit there and talk to me about this because guess what? We already kind of knew this was happening. It leaked a while ago that they've been working on a Switch Pokemon game.
It's nice to get confirmation.
But they could have done that, in my opinion, that could have been for a Direct that wasn't E3. E3 should have been where they really focused on...
Well, that's I really liked about them was everything they kind of really announced at E3 is all this year. Except for, like...
Metroid and the Pokemon game. I agree.
And to me, like, majority of everything else in E3 when it comes to Sony and Microsoft, I'm not trying to do the comparison, all looked really, really good, and we got trailers for everything.
But we just got Windows. We didn't get dates. And I agree with that, too.
And they even announced the date for Mario Odyssey, which is October now.
Mario Odyssey is October. But October 27th.
Yes.
Which is the same day as Wolfenstein and Assassin's Creed. So Switch owners will definitely have something. I think everyone has something that day that they can pick up. If you're a first-person shooter kind of guy, you get Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein's so fun, isn't it?
I love Wolfenstein. Probably one of the best first-person shooters that come out in a long time. But I just felt that their transitions were weird. And don't get me wrong, while I'm saying that they could have done a Direct for Pokemon and for Metroid at any point, I didn't think it needed to be at E3. Nintendo does Directs pretty much all year round.
Yeah, they do.
They really
well, they announced a lot of stuff, too, after the E3.
They did. But that's what also confused me, because a lot of the stuff that came out after E3 was more exciting to me than the stuff that they announced during E3.
It was really weird, but Nintendo said that too. They said they're going to announce what they feel is their big titles at E3. Keep watching, because we got plenty more after that. Well, and they even said that, so I thought that was really odd. Plus, they only gave themselves, they were on there
30 minutes. Well, actually
25,
less.
Yeah, 25
less.
minutes.
They said 30, but we got even less than that, because I remember I was looking at my phone when it ended, and I was like, wow, that wasn't even 30 minutes. But like a lot of the stuff I'm really excited for coming from Nintendo is actually on my 3DS. The Mario Luigi RPG that they're re-releasing
Yeah.
with the enhanced graphics and all. I was like, wow, that's super exciting.
While we're on the subject, Mario Rabbids, you're not that excited for. That trailer got me real hyped.
So here's what I'll say about that, and then we can...
And then I'm going to come back with something on that.
No, yeah, that's fine. I actually am going to take a step back from what I said previously. I'm not excited for it, but I will say that I've been watching more videos on it, and I'm slowly getting more and more interested in it. Because I see, I've seen like RPG elements to it, where there are different weapons.
Mm.
I was a little nervous that the game was going to be very dumbed down for kids, and while the early levels do look that way, I can see the potential to be very complex and very strategic.
Complex.
You know what I mean? Because I love XCOM, and when I first...
That's my issue. You were saying you weren't excited. I was like, that is XCOM with Mario.
It is XCOM with Mario.
And I know you love that game, so that's why I was a little upset with you at first.
I do love XCOM. XCOM is one of my favorite series, and I'm super excited for the DLC for XCOM to come out. That comes out the same day as Mario Rabbids.
They did it on purpose.
But I will say that like the more I watch on the Mario Rabbids, the more interested I am getting in it. I do find it weird. I don't really like that the Rabbids are dressed up as Mario, Luigi, and Peach and Yoshi, only because you already get Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi.
I feel like, you know what it looks like to me, and this is just me shooting in the dark. Each level you're going to lock an actual Nintendo character. You're going to start off as the Rabbids. At least that's what it looked like to me for the trailer.
Yeah.
Like with Mario with all the substitutes with him, and then he looked like he was finding the other characters throughout the game.
It does look like you... So it looks like your 3 party members you'll start with is Mario, Luigi Rabbid, and Peach Rabbid. And then you have to find the other characters to unlock them, or I guess you just unlock them over time. My only other complaint that I have with the game from what I've seen so far, which obviously all that we've seen is very early... I don't like that all the villains are just Rabbids. I think I'd really like to see like Bowser and some Koopas and stuff like that, kind of taking advantage of like, oh, Mario has these Rabbids to worry about. Well, let me try to also now take over the Mushroom Kingdom again with this. Granted, I'm tired of that storyline, but I just think it'd be cool to see a Rabbid dressed up like Bowser.
I do think it's funny that we made the joke about a Donkey Kong Rabbit being black, and he came out all white. And I feel like instead of, we're not going to get this on racism.
Yeah.
We got it this time. I'm excited for it, and I was surprised when you said you weren't, only because it really did look XCOM in it. And to me, I was going to sound like the hypocrite because I had no interest in playing XCOM, and I'm going to pick this up first day.
Yeah. So it's funny because I'm more excited for the XCOM DLC, but the way that I'm looking at it right now is I probably wouldn't play Mario Rabbids while I'm home because I'd be playing XCOM. But Mario Rabbids would be that nice thing I'd take with me to work on the go when I come to your house, when I go to someone else's house, and I could easily be like, all right, I'm going to do a quick mission or two. I don't think they're going to be missions, though, in Mario, but Rabbids would probably just be like levels. But still.
You're a level. But you're also... I'd say you're not being as liberal with your Switch as I am. Like, I'm picking up anything big Nintendo pops out.
I actually haven't picked up anything since Mario Kart. I was watching stuff on ARMS.
I know you came over today and me and my wife were playing and looked pissed.
No, I wasn't mad. I was just kind of like, this doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't look interesting. Doesn't look fun. And even the people that I watch in the commercial that are smiling and laughing while they play, I'm like, I don't care.
I don't care about your acting.
Yeah. But let's go on. What else?
Yoshi,
the Woolly World?
There's a new one coming out.
Yeah, is that Woolly Worlds again or no?
It looks like it's the Woolly World Yoshi. They're calling it Yoshi. Okay, so it's super complicated. In America, we're getting Yoshi 2018 is what it's called. Okay? Japan is called Yoshi 6. So I don't know if they're going to change the name until we get it, but it looks like, to me, you're getting Woolly World Yoshi again, but you're getting cardboard X like the Super Nintendo and N64 backgrounds.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that's why Japan is called Yoshi 6, because it's technically another sequel.
Gotcha.
So I think it looks great. I'm excited about it.
I think it looks good. While I liked Woolly World, my problem with the Yoshi games are none have been as good since Yoshi's Island, the original Yoshi's Island. So I don't think I'm really going to pick this one up unless I hear some really good reviews.
I'm to be honest, I haven't really enjoyed one because I played Whirling World, but I played it co-op with my wife. I probably might have enjoyed it if I played a little more on my own, sinking my teeth in it. But I agree with you. But to me, the best ones are the Portal ones. I think the 3DS ones were by far the best Yoshi games. I'm just excited to see Nintendo announcing a Yoshi game. It wasn't super gimmicky. It doesn't look like I'm going to have to jump up and down and dress like a dinosaur to play. It looks like I plug a controller in and play.
Okay.
And that's all I was really asking Nintendo. Get away from this stupid gimmicky stuff.
Okay.
And which takes me to Kirby, which me and you had a completely different
We did.
idea. I'm saying I don't have to touch screen anything.
Okay.
I don't have to be a giant Mac.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have to draw his arms and legs or he's made out of yarn. I'm happy. Okay?
The last Kirby game I enjoyed was Kirby Superstar Ultra. Right on the wall. I really enjoyed Kirby Superstar Ultra, but I feel like Kirby has that problem. We talked about it, where it doesn't have the difficulty curve that Mario has. Mario can be enjoyed and challenging for kids and adults, whereas I feel like Kirby is just for kids, and it doesn't have that challenge that they could put in it, but I'm assuming they don't because they feel like it appeals more to younger audiences.
He's a big ball.
I agree, but I do really...
Fun fact about Kirby, did you know he was a placeholder until they came up with the hero of the game?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, that's the design they came up with, just with the placeholder in the game. And I'm like, you know what, let's just make it look like that.
That's funny.
Weird. Look at him waving at you. I think it looks good. I'm excited. I know a few people that aren't really excited or not really excited for it because they feel like you. There's been other better Kirby games. I think Mira, what was it called? Mirror Magic or whatever?
Oh, the one on the Game Boy Advance?
No,
Was
I think it was the DS.
DS.
I think that was by far the best one in my opinion. That was really good.
Okay.
But I'm excited about it. I've been wanting. I've been wanting to play Kirby for years.
Yeah.
And you know how disappointed I was with that one on the Wii U. I was like,
where you're
what?
the ball rolling
I was
around.
like, what is this, man? Like,
I can understand that, but the last Kirby I got was God. What was the last one I did get? I think it was one on the 3DS. I'm drawing a blank on what the name of it was. Anyway, I got it and I just didn't enjoy it. It wasn't challenging, and I was kind of like, I was just speeding through levels, and I was like, you know what? I just want something that's actually going to be challenging if I'm going to pay $40 for it on the 3DS, or in this case, it's probably going to be $60 since it's on the Switch.
they've usually been doing their lower end games $50 and everything else $60. Arms is only $50,
Oh, okay. Still,
which is pretty cool, I think. So I'm guessing Zelda, Mario, things like that are all going to come out $60, and lower end Nintendo name brand are going to come out $50. They always do that. Nintendo has that weird thing, man. Like their games aren't set the same price. Like I feel like universally, PlayStation 4 and Xbox Ones are always $60 across the board.
yeah, I can agree with that.
So
So we'll kind of sum up Nintendo shortly because let's move on to other stuff so that people aren't just like.
Well,
Oh.
I just want to talk about Mario Odyssey. I love it.
All right, you talk about Mario Odyssey, and then I have one thing I would like to talk about after.
I think Mario Odyssey looks fantastic. It definitely, something made me really excited about it when they were playing New Donk City, and he mentioned he can't give away something in it because it would ruin the story. Obviously, it's the city from Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
The first game, I mean, that's obvious, but the fact that they're kind of finally talking about some story elements in a Mario game, and that giving away something will give away something in the game, kind of got me excited because I'm like, Mario with a story. That's
Okay.
awesome. Just want to share that.
So on New Donk City alone, real quick, I just want to. You would probably know better than I would. Did they change Mario's lore? Because technically, Mario's human. He was a human plumber that found the magic pipe that led him to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of bothers me that in New Donk City, there are humans walking around, and he's only up to their waist.
Well, there was a game theory online that explained that why they're so ginormous compared to him,
Okay.
and it's because the bananas in Donkey Kong's island
Mhm.
all have magic properties, and that's why everything's big on that. We talked about every boss that ate the bananas, and they're all giant versions of normal enemies in that game.
Gotcha.
So they're saying all those people, and then they showed actual guy who did the theory online. Anybody want to check out his website? It's Game Theories, not bad. But he showed that every food place you've seen in No Donk City has something to do with bananas.
Okay.
It's like, so that's why they explain why the people are so big. Is that the actual storyline? I don't know.
Okay, I can respect.
I'm just glad it's not actually New York City. It's New Donk City. And I think, like I said, since this was called Odyssey, I feel like this is not just the only place we're going to visit from Mario's lore. Like, I feel like we're going to go to those pipes in New York City from Mario Brothers and stuff like that.
Okay. So I guess I'll go through what I didn't like about it, and then we can talk about what you liked or the good things. I think first let me just say the game looks beautiful. Very pretty game.
Thank you.
I do not like any of the levels.
You're dumb.
I watched every gameplay footage that was available on each level. I watched
New Donk City.
I watched the Wooded Kingdom.
Liked it.
I didn't like the Wooded Kingdom. I watched the Sand Kingdom.
Looked good.
Didn't like the Sand Kingdom.
Can't say
Which I thought I was going to like the Sand Kingdom because I can wear a sombrero and a poncho. And then I watched New Donk City, which those were the only three I believe they showed off. If I'm wrong, then those are the only three I watched.
If we're wrong, somebody would make fun of you in the comment section.
I didn't like any of them. I felt that all the levels felt very empty. Like I didn't really see enemies besides New Donk City, which you had people walking around. But I just felt that was just very boring, and it just felt out of place to me because of the whole size thing, and it just looked weird seeing Mario walk around with normal-looking humans. Like, they don't even look...
That you can possess, too.
Yes, which I don't like that mechanic either, actually.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, somebody else said that on Facebook, again, argument, and I told them, it is the power-up system without power-ups.
Here's what I will say. Nintendo has always done a really good job of innovating their games for gameplay. And while that's pretty cool... I don't really need to become every enemy. Like, I don't really care. Like, I don't want to know what it's like to jump around as a Goomba.
Right. Once again, it's power-ups.
I
like every other Mario game.
I'm just saying, I would much rather be Mario in a catsuit again than a mustached Goomba.
Oh, I love how everything gets the mustache. Even the Bullet Bill. I don't know, I really liked it. Like, they showed the gameplay of them fighting the mechanical worm,
yes.
And you had to turn into the tank.
Yeah.
And it was like, you kept switching out and forth because you couldn't really dodge as a tank, but you could only shoot the thing as a tank. I thought it was a cool concept, and like I said, anybody had an issue with it, I'm like, it's power-ups without them. And that's exactly what they said, if you listen to it. It was like, we were trying to figure out how to do like 100 power-ups, and then we were like, you know what, let's just come up with a concept where we don't need to put in a billion power-ups.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I'm really excited about it, and I see that nobody else is. I'm really glad they came back with a life system, the life bar.
I did see that, and you can expand it.
Yes.
I saw that. I thought that was pretty cool, rather than just worry about being hit, one or two times.
The mushrooms.
Yeah. I did like that it was the life bar. But I felt the worlds were very empty.
Well,
very beautiful, but
I'm
empty.
give it some time, because I'm not used to it. I don't think, and I feel like there's going to be full of enemies, too. Like I said, and technically, all we've seen so far was like, 3 different kinds of enemies?
Yes.
And I feel like, a Mario game, I'm sure there's going to be a Boo level in there, I'm sure. This is just literally a sliver.
While I agree, the amount of enemies isn't my issue. It's that it doesn't look like there are any within the level sometimes. It looks like you're just walking around at points.
Saying I'm sure it's going to change.
We'll see. So I wasn't very impressed with that. I just didn't have fun even watching people. And usually I really enjoy watching people even play Mario, because Mario is just one of those games where it's interesting to see how people solve things and what they do to get around things.
Yahoo!
I was watching this and I was like, I didn't even enjoy any of the gameplay videos I watched. And I watched 4 of them. The 3 city ones, and then I watched the boss one.
I feel like you're angry, man. You're an angry old man.
I'm not angry, I'm disappointed, because Mario was one of the games I was really looking forward to for my Switch, and now I feel like it's a game that I'm not going to get until I play it at your house and see, like, okay, is it good? No? Okay, then I'm not going to get it.
I'm going to get it, and I'm never going to let you play it.
Okay, then all you're doing is saving me $60.
And I'm going to let you so good, but you'll never play it. I'll make sure nobody ever lets you play it again. And then when you do go to buy it, I'm going to make sure that they don't sell it to you.
And I'm also just really tired of Nintendo using the same stories for all their games. While I will admit Nintendo is probably the most innovative company when it comes to gameplay for their games, they do not ever change their stories. And it really irks me.
Mario trying to save the princess.
From Bowser, once again.
We're getting married this time, though.
Did
you see the piranha plant bouquet?
I kind of hope that Bowser succeeds, so that it can end. Just let him get married to Peach. It's such a joke now. There's a video about it that I've shown you about Peach constantly getting kidnapped by the same
That's
guy.
the best part, man. It takes, to me, I don't know, maybe it's our age difference. I don't know what it is, but to me, it's such a simple concept. I play my PlayStation 4 because I want my complex, really well-written stories. I play my Nintendo for a simple life. I know at the end of the day, I gotta save the princess.
Okay.
Because she got taken by this evil turtle.
That's fine.
Easy concept for me to
Can we
wrap
at
my
least
hand
add
around.
new enemies? Can we at least have the Mushroom Kingdom in danger by something else other than Bowser? Don't get me wrong, Bowser is literally my favorite Mario character.
I don't know. To me, I like that simplicity. Like, I'll put it this way: your favorite Legend of Zelda is
Majora's
Mask. I enjoyed Majora's Mask. One of the most disappointing things for me is the game time the game.
That's
different
actually like my favorite thing about it.
And see, that's our difference, though. I like I said, I go back to Nintendo stories for its simplicity. I know that I'm going to fight Ganon. I know I'm going to fight Bowser. You know what I mean? In Metroid Prime, I know what's her face is probably going to show up. The purple pterodactyl. Like, I know these things, and it makes me feel good. So, matter of fact, when they change it up like an old man, I'm like, no, I don't like that. I don't like it. Keep it the same.
Last thing for Nintendo, and then we'll move on to the other presentations.
I'm excited for Xenoblade, so I'm going to pick it up, even though I hated the last one.
Are you excited for it?
Yeah, it looks great to me.
I am actually really excited for it as well. That's actually the one thing about their conference I was just like, God, I can't wait. It looks so good. I watched all the gameplay footage on it, just made me want it even more.
Yeah, I think it looks really good.
I'm already trying to think of ways to hide my Switch on my desk so that I can play with my hands to my side
That's a good idea.
on my Joy-Cons, but look at the screen, but not make it look like I'm looking at the screen. So that I can just grind levels, like not even have the volume up all the way down, but just sit there and fight stuff so that I can like just level up
That's a good idea.
for my 12-hour shift.
Just have glasses on with like your eyes looking forward, but you're actually looking down at something.
I draw eyes on my glasses. But
So, no, I thought it looked really good. I'm excited for it. I feel like, I don't know. You say, the other day you said that you feel like you wasted money on your Switch. It feels like a paperweight. I feel like just the lineup at E3 made me glad I purchased one.
see, the only thing I want out of that lineup, which one of them I'm even kind of about, is Fire Emblem Warriors. Which the only reason why I'm about is because I'm not a big Dynasty Warriors fan.
I'm not done.
But I love Fire Emblem, so I kind of feel like it's just two conflicting things there. That's like, man, maybe I should get it because I don't want to give them the wrong message that Fire Emblem isn't being. It's the same reason I got Dragon Quest Warriors. They've even Square's even said they were like, we're not going to bring the other Dragon Age games over the core ones unless Americans prove that they actually have an interest in this series. And it's like, all right, well, I want the core Dragon Age games, and I can't say, hey, I want them if I'm not sending them the message by picking up these other titles too.
Your one purchase is going to make the difference, man.
It could, man, and I'm not saying that it will, but I now know that I'm not the cause for it not happening. I'm part of the reason it could have happened, rather than it being why it didn't happen. And if it doesn't happen, then it's like, okay, I did my part. It didn't happen. Then it's just not meant to be. If there isn't the demand for it, I'm one of the minorities that actually want these games.
All right.
But so that's how I kind of feel about Fire Emblem, which we know no matter what, Fire Emblem is going to happen anyway. But for some odd reason, that's just what's in my head. And Xenoblade, which Fire Emblem's November, and Xenoblade is December. And I kind of want a Splatoon, but I was like, if I get Mario Rabbids, I don't really want to get Splatoon. Like, I feel like I should only get one or the other.
I don't know, man. I feel like there's one a month. Yeah, there technically
There is one game a month.
until next year.
Yes, starting
Started this month.
this month was ARMS.
Yeah. And then we go right into Splatoon. What's September? Something big September. I can't
Well, Splatoon is July. August is
It's
Mario Rabbids. September is wasn't that the Kirby game?
It's a Kirby game, correct?
And then October is Mario. November is Dynasty Warriors, and then December is Xenoblade.
All right, take stay back. We had our arguments. Now, let's say somebody decided to get a Switch
Mhm.
versus the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Do you feel now, at least, they got their money's worth out of the system? They're literally getting a game a month.
Here's what I'll say
So next
though.
year.
While yes, you are getting a game a month, it depends on what you like. If you're someone who doesn't like Mario, you're already not going to get Mario Rabbids, probably, because it has Mario in the title. Not saying that means that they look into it and realize, hey, it's something different, but you're probably not going to get Mario. You're probably not going to get Mario Odyssey. And if you're not a Kirby fan either, which I like Kirby, but I'm not getting that game, that's 3 games out of the 6 that are coming. I can see fans having a lot of fun with Splatoon. I can see people having a lot of fun with what's after Splatoon? Oh, Mario Rabbids. Yeah. If you like RPGs, there's a really good RPG coming, and if you like the Dynasty Warriors type, there's that. It's hard to really say, hey, get a Switch over a PS4 when E3 alone announced so much stuff. Even if it's not stuff that's coming out this year now, it's stuff that you know in the future's coming, whereas Nintendo is still a question mark. All we know is Metroid and Pokemon. Which isn't bad, because Nintendo does directs all year long, so we can easily get that information from Nintendo directly. I would say, obviously, if you're a Nintendo fan, you're going to enjoy the Switch. If you're someone who is looking for those other big third-party games, they're still not on the Switch.
I'm just going to take you back to a few years ago with me. I decided I was not going to get any next-gen systems. I was done.
Okay.
I felt like I had just spent money, was not getting a PS4, an Xbox One, or a Wii U. See how well that worked out.
Yeah, you got them all.
But anyway, I ended up getting a Wii U because they released the Wind Waker edition. And I was super disappointed with it because nothing ever came out of it. Had I done that same thing with the Switch, not got a PS4, not got an Xbox One, got a Switch, as a fan right now, I'd be happy because at least I'm guaranteed something a month, even if it's something I don't like. And let's be honest, it takes you longer to play a month. Like, I'm going to be playing that Mario game longer than a month, probably. So. I can see what
well,
you're...
for us, it does take longer for us to play games in a month. But for the kids in school, for adults that... I don't even want to really use adults. For people that have jobs that aren't...
People who live with their mother in their basement. Gotcha.
That don't have the big boy jobs yet, that can't really... they don't have to put a lot of time in. Or people who are extremely wealthy and don't need to put a lot of time into their job. In general, they have a lot of free time. People with a lot of free time, I feel like, can run through these games quicker than a month it would take maybe you or I.
Either way, I'm saying I feel like Nintendo... I can't be disappointed with Nintendo's E3, and I can't say that, I wasn't super excited about it because everything they announced, I was happy about.
Okay.
Somebody like you and I can understand, but the reason, because I was all forward saying Sony did an amazing job, Sony was great, but I would be allowed to say I wasn't more excited about everything Nintendo announced.
Okay.
Like, if you put me side to side with Spider-Man, as much as I thought it was incredible and how much I think you're right for loving it, and Mario Odyssey, I'm going to pick Mario Odyssey any day.
It's one. Those are actually the 2 games that most people were split with what the game of the show was. It was either Spider-Man or Mario Odyssey. But, and I completely, I'm not just, I don't disrespect anyone's opinion. If you're excited for Nintendo stuff, then hey, power to you. You own a Switch. I'm happy that you're excited for the Switch lineup because that means for you, there's games coming out. I view it now as, man, I'm really happy I own a PS4 because if I only owned a Switch, I would be really disappointed, personally. And I'm not saying that that's everyone, because obviously there are people out there that are super excited for the Switch lineup.
I know a few people that are picking a Switch up now after E3.
Yeah.
So, they might have done decent jobs on it. My personal opinion, for the 3 big ones, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, I liked all 3. My biggest complaints were Microsoft, but even Microsoft had a couple points.
I do think that all 3 did very well.
The only complaint I have about Microsoft, and I said it the day of the thing, was you got me so hyped for this Xbox One X. You got me drooling, and then you're like, and $500. I'm like, oh, I'm never getting that.
One of my biggest complaints about the Microsoft one personally was there was just too much talking in between each thing. Whereas both Sony and Nintendo, I think, did a really good job of just showing the games. Granted, Nintendo only did 30 minutes, but that's 30 minutes of games. Sony did an hour of just games.
Yeah.
So I think when you look at Microsoft's, it's kind of like...
Well, I feel like Microsoft had to do a lot of talking to explain what the Xbox One X was.
I agree.
Because at the end of the day, I know a few people that think all the Xbox One X is running in 4K. And I'm like, no, the Slim runs in 4K.
Yeah.
It's not just a 4K system. It's their brand new system. I think the biggest issue me and you had is everything that's going to be able to run on it is running on the Xbox One. So it's like, how can you even call this a new system? Like, you're still going to have your limitations.
Yeah.
I will say Anthem, which was running on an Xbox One X, according to that, the hair looked good. I'm sure you're happy about that.
Yes, I was. I was very happy.
Like I said, though, hearing those specs for the Xbox One X and seeing how small it was and everything, I was like,
It's impressive.
I was really excited. And then to hear that, this system is going to have a cooling gel inside of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To make it so small. So probably wouldn't get it at launch because probably going to have some problems at launch. I'm not wishing that on
Possibly.
Microsoft.
We'll see.
I'm not wishing that, but it could happen. Xbox
But you know what?
360.
Let's just stick with that real quick. You brought up Anthem. Let's talk about that.
What is there to talk about besides it looks amazing? I can't think of it. It was like, and I feel bad because I know a lot of people are Destiny fans, but it's like, oh, you like Destiny? Yeah, check this out.
Well, here's what I think is so amazing. It literally is. It's Destiny, but with a BioWare story.
Yep.
It's like, man, how do you beat that? You don't. And I'm curious if they're going to do relationships, because that'd be really cool if it's like, hey, you can also do these relationships. They did say you can play the game solo. You can also play with your friends.
That's when I heard it was solo and you can do offline still solo. I'm like, come on, that is. And to me, it looks amazing. There's not like the gameplay, the graphics, we were talking about the different armors and like all they showed in the trailer.
Yeah.
Technically, all
And they're fully customizable
Yeah,
armors.
everything about it, I don't know. It just when they went underwater and it looked like a completely separate game. I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Just the fact that you can go underwater and fly
Yes.
was amazing to me. I was like, holy crap. All that went through my head is, how deep is this world and how high is...
But all I can think of is you always talk about you don't like your games barren. You like a lot going on, and it looked like a living world.
Yeah,
and that makes sense.
Even
like,
the enemies were fighting amongst one another.
Yeah.
You saw the creatures just attacking one another.
Even when they came and landed, like you could see the way the branches were. You could see, and like I really feel like if you stopped and looked for a second, you would see a line of ants crossing the log because it looked that well, like that alive.
Detail,
Everything.
yeah.
But I, if it came to gameplay, like I feel like that stole the show only because everybody I show that trailer to have all got excited for it. You know what I mean? Everybody.
I agree. Same here. Everyone that I've shown that trailer to is like, wow, this game's coming out. Yeah, what is it for? That's the first question I get asked. What is it for? A lot of people thought it was only going to be PC because of how beautiful it is. I was like, no, it's on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Like, I'm getting that.
I'm really excited for it. I think the gameplay, I love the, and then, I normally hate videos where people are pretending to play it and be loud about it. And even the dialogue, I thought it was like, I really feel like that's what people would say while playing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, come on, let me get this cool gun. Yes,
Yeah.
got the cool
It
gun.
was like, didn't feel forced. Like when she was like, oh, I'll come through again with Kim. I was like, oh, that's great. And then Kim showed up. I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
It's like a backtrack. I want to see the dungeon. But,
and then the way the trailer ends, like,
well, let's also talk about that storm. You see, like, trees
Yep.
flying by. Like, man.
I'm not trying to take anything away from Destiny because I know there's big Destiny fans. But I always make the joke, why play Destiny when there's Borderlands? I'm going to say, why play Borderlands when there's games like this coming out? Like,
Well, here's the other thing I really liked about it. I don't know, maybe you'll agree, maybe you'll disagree. I love that it's third person.
yes.
And the reason I love that is you get this sick armor. I want to be able to look at it, especially if I get to customize it. I want to be able to spin it around and be like, wow, I look badass.
Well, to me, looking at the trailer, do you think it's first person when you're out of the Mac?
It is. So they did confirm that.
Mhm.
So it's the opposite of Destiny.
Yeah.
When you're in the HUD world and you're not in your mech, you're in first person. Whenever you are in your mech, you are in third. So I'm curious if that means your character isn't customizable, your
Yeah.
person. I wonder if only your mechs are, and maybe your character is kind of like just randomly generated type of thing. I don't know.
Could be. Well, I don't know, because
Well, they did actually show the girl's face,
Yeah.
so I would assume that those would probably have to be customizable as
I don't know,
well.
especially if multiple people playing online. Like, you know what I mean? How am I going to tell my boy Zabo's playing versus, everybody generic character?
I agree with
That's
that.
one of the issues I had with Sunset Boulevard. As much as I love that game, the fact that there wasn't a lot of customization, I felt like everybody's character was looking exactly the same.
Yeah.
Or not long. It was like you were either black with a mohawk or white with a mohawk. You know what I mean? Those are your two options. I was black with a mohawk, by the way. Just in case you were curious. Yeah, I was big a black guy.
I know. That's why I thought you were super excited for Crackdown.
I am really excited for Crackdown. I think Crackdown. I don't know. The trailer didn't do much for me. It looks fun. You know what I mean? I'm going to get it solely based off of I own an Xbox One and it's an exclusive.
So here's the one problem I have with Crackdown when they first announced Crackdown 3, they really hyped up that you'll be able to destroy anything within the game. Everything's destructible. That is only now for online mode. It is not for single player. Which really annoys me because it's like, if anything, my single player mode should be able to do that.
Yeah, not the other way around. I also feel like they presented it weird ways. Much as I think Terry Crews is cool, I don't know. Maybe I'm just older, but I'd rather see what you can do in the game. Show me gameplay. Show me story. Over
I can agree with that.
Terry
I
Crews
don't
flexing.
actually find the game visually as appealing.
As I thought it would be. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think it's weird, especially when you announce. To me, that was what's weird. You announce the Xbox One X that can do all these crazy things. 800 pixels per frame second.
Yeah.
You could see a sweat bead go down, hit grass, and bend the grass with that. And then to show Crackdown with that. It's like,
Yeah, I agree. I think they should have. I honestly think they should have made sure they had, like, even a Halo trailer. You needed something that really would have
or
showed
at
off
least
the
shown
system.
something that running off that engine. Like showing Forza was a great idea. Forza looked amazing.
Forza did look amazing, but the
This-
problem is, it already looks amazing.
Yeah. So I really, besides Anthem,
Anthem, I think, did a really good job of
I
showing
agree.
off the hardware.
But here's my issue. I guarantee Anthem's going to look just as good for the PS4.
I think that's the same. I think the same thing because while the Xbox One is more powerful, the game does still have to be on the PS4 as well.
And it's still got to run on the Xbox One.
Yeah,
And like I said, it disappoints me, like I said, that they've kind of shot themselves in the foot with this whole thing. You know what I mean? Would I be disappointed if they're like, we're going to do Xbox One only X games? And it's like, no, because now you're forcing my hand. I got to buy an Xbox One X.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to see a game that looks that ridiculous.
Oh,
You know what I mean? All the time. Where I look like I could just walk into the screen.
yeah. I can agree with that.
Now, did the new Metro Light, did that play? That was playing on Xbox One X, right?
That was playing on a One X as well. Metro Exodus.
That looked amazing.
That game does look amazing. I'm a huge fan of that series too, by the way.
I think the way that the trailer played out for that, I like the movements, everything like that. If I can be guaranteed solid gameplay like that, where that looked like no frame rate issues, it just flowed on the Xbox One X. I also feel like they really messed up on explaining that. Like, people don't understand how this is going to run it so fluently.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not always about visuals. Sometimes
It's the frame rate. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's about making sure that the textures don't drop.
I was playing Dead Rising 3. Beautiful game, by the way. Recommended to anybody. As much as I love that game, I'll tell you one thing. If I got into a vehicle that was too fast, there would be plenty of times I would drive by a building that was texted out, just gone, until I got way past it, and then I finally seen it drop into brim. That was on an Xbox One.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Guaranteed to me that's not going to happen, and I'll be happy.
Anything else from Microsoft you want to talk? Let's talk about Assassin's Creed because that was shown on Microsoft stage. What do you think? Did it win you back? You want to play it again?
I don't feel like it needed to win back because I liked Syndicate. Syndicate was... So I feel like they never lost me.
It's funny. Unity lost me. Syndicate brought me back, and then you took the 2-year hiatus because you felt like you lost your crown. And I'm just sitting here like,
To me, it was difficult because I did like the first one. NCO is what sold me, and then I loved Black Flag. I forced my way through 3 because I love the Revolutionary War in history.
we had some rough patches
Yeah.
after 3, except for Black Flag.
I love Black Flag. Unity pissed me off so bad, but I thought what was the Syndicate? I thought was really good. So I was planning on getting this one anyway. I really like the time period. The only complaint I have about this is visuals.
And it's not even the environment. For me personally, it's literally...
The characters, it's just, even the horse, anything really moving.
Well, did you watch the gameplay footage that they released? It looks like you can climb anything now, even rocks and all. Which I kind of feel like they just shoehorned in after Zelda. Only reason I say that is because I see the character's hand go through the rocks, and I'm like, there's no way you guys actually...
planned for it to do this.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to pick it up because it's an Assassin's Creed.
And you get to play as Black Guy.
And you can put, God, I can't stand you. And I feel like it looks good. I feel like it's an Assassin's Creed game, and I like the time period. I like the fact that you discussed this. In my opinion, they do look like Africans. You know what I mean?
When I rewatched some gameplay footage, I agree now. I don't know if it may have just been watching it on my phone because I was watching the Ubisoft press conference on my phone while I was at work the first time it was playing. So I don't know if maybe it was just the lighting on my phone or something. They didn't really look like it, but I agree. I rewatched it on like my computer and on my television, and they do look after.
With that being said, I do feel like Assassin's Creed, although as a lost me as a fan, lost me as somebody that would pick it up first day. I used to pick up Assassin's Creed at launch. Now this seems like
wait for a sale.
Not even wait for a sale. This will be something where my wife's, what do you want for Christmas? I'll add that to the list. You know what I mean? So, it's a shame that I was more excited for the Ezio collection than I was this one, just to play those again.
Yeah.
And to me, I still feel like Assassin's Creed peaked then.
I agree. I think they're having a hard time finding a character as good as Ezio again.
He was so cool, though.
He was such a great character. That being said, though, I am pretty excited for this one for the smaller things that they added, like RPG elements, leveling up. You get to see that your gear all has different stats, and there actually is a difference in getting, let me carry around this sword instead of this sword. I mean, don't get me wrong, the other swords, they did have stats as well, but I feel like this is just going to dive a little deeper into it.
It definitely looks a little more complex. I'm also excited to climb a pyramid. Who hasn't wanted to do that, man?
I agree with that. But I agree, visually it wasn't very impressive. Far Cry 5.
Well, I'm hyped. They had me the first trailer. Show me more, you got me. That, to me, I'm actually surprised. It'll be the first Far Cry I'll pick up at launch.
Really?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I've gotten every Far Cry at launch, but I'm super excited for this one.
First off, you sold me with the idea of the game. I think it looks good, and everything you showed me so far.
The cult.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I'm actually really impressed with them. I feel like they were like, you know what? Everybody has been. First off, a lot of people copied off of that Far Cry formula. You know what I mean? And for them to be like, let's change it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people are going to follow changing this up now. How many games do you think are going to follow up on American soil now, just because they made this?
I guarantee you, a lot of games probably will. You know what else I thought was pretty cool? You get a dog.
I know people that hate getting dogs in games.
I think they hate it because they don't want the dog to die.
I think that's what it, or they're not human.
But I think they confirmed the dog can't die. But what the dog will do is it'll steal guns for you, bring them back. It'll tackle guys to the ground for you so that you can get the shots off. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Did Ubisoft show off anything else? South Park.
Yes.
Let's talk about.
We got a date.
We got a date.
Got a new trailer. We got gameplay. What do you think of the gameplay?
That strip club was hilarious.
I didn't think you were going to top the first game. And all right, spoiler warning for anybody who played the first game. There's literally a level where you get shrunken down to underpants gnome size in the first game.
Shoved in an ass, and you see the balls.
Yes, and you have to fight while your parents are committing a sexual act together, and you have to dodge your father's ball sack. Like, that's in the first game. I didn't think anything would top that, and I really feel after watching this trailer, they're like, you thought that was crazy. Wait till you see what's in this game.
You get to go to a strip club. Men think that you are little girls and pull you into a back room, and you have to play a dancing minigame where you give these grown men a lap dance as a little kid.
Yep.
That's pretty cringeworthy.
It is.
But it's hilarious.
It is really funny. Like I said, I think the first South Park game came out of nowhere and knocked us all out.
I agree.
I had no interest in playing it until somebody was like, you played the new South Park? And I was like, no. They're like, actually, I think it was you.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, it's really a good, solid RPG. And I was like, shut up. Shut your mouth. And it really was. It's a really good game. So I'm really excited about this one. I was kind of disappointed when it was pushed back. But seeing the new gameplay, seeing the trailer, seeing the date, I'm happy.
A lot of people were a little concerned about the grid system, which I don't mind because it just reminds me once again of like XCOM and Fire Emblem. So I don't mind that. But watching them use it, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Because the enemy gets the same mechanics that you do. They get pushed and stuff as well.
Right.
And I don't know if you saw that there's a big stripper there called, I think her name was Big Bertha or something. And in that fight, they try to push you to her because she jumps and will land on you. And if she lands on you, it's a one-hit KO. So the enemy is constantly trying to position themselves to push you into Big Bertha.
Right.
But at the same time, you have to position yourself so that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
It's, you know what I mean? And they very well could have been like, the last one did so well, let's just copy this formula. And they didn't. I respect that, too.
They didn't go with fantasy again. They went with superheroes.
Yes, what I think is such an awesome idea. The first trailer was hilarious.
It was.
No, that's not the way it works. Like, it was,
You want to go Civil War? Civil War, bitch.
so I'm really excited about it, and I hope that humor from the first one, which was so great, when like the first, you really want to be called dog shit? Okay, like
Yeah.
I really hope that humor comes together. And once again, there's a level in the first one where you shrink down and have to fight in between your parents having sex. Like that was in the first game.
It was great.
Remember,
do you know you get a trophy if you watch for a minute without moving?
Do you really?
Yes. If you sit before when you're on the nightstand,
yeah.
if you stand there and you watch your parents have sex for a minute without moving, you get a trophy for it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I think it's called Pervert or something.
I'm really excited to play that game too, and unfortunately, because I didn't do it online, I didn't get Stick of Truth. I won't get it until it gets launched.
So now you have to wait to replay Stick of Truth.
Mm.
Yeah, I've had Stick of Truth now for over a year because I pre-ordered as soon as it went up, and you got Stick of Truth with it now.
Yeah. But I'm excited about it. I'm really excited. And I think that's so awesome it comes to Stick of Truth again. So.
I agree, especially because that's such a good game, and I do think some people slept on it.
Yeah, it did. And it was a decently long game, too. What was it, like good 60, 70 hours?
Yeah. My only complaint about it was the level cap. I think the highest level you could be was 30.
Yeah.
So it kind of felt like once you hit 30 and you still had a bunch of side quests, you were kind of like, oh, this kind of is upsetting.
I'm not doing the side quest now.
Yeah. Let's move on. Bethesda. We already talked about Evil Within. Let's talk about some Wolfenstein. Excited? Did that trailer do anything?
Yeah, no, Wolfenstein does. The last one I played was Old Blood or New Blood?
Well, there's the New Order, and then there was Old Blood, which was a prequel
to the New Order.
Yeah.
Played Old Blood. I really enjoyed that, so I feel like, I don't know. I'm really disappointed with that game. Ever.
I thought you said you're really disappointed.
I'm rarely.
Rarely, yes, gotcha.
I'm really excited, and I think the trailer looked really good.
I will say this. This trailer definitely showed what the game can look like without having the PS3 and 360... PS3 and 360 tied to it, because the New Order came out for both of those.
Right.
So, like, man, those visuals, I was just like, wow, this looks so beautiful in comparison to the last one.
I agree, it looks good. And the only... Is Wolfenstein something I'll pick up first day? No, it'll probably be like what I did with Old Blood, where I waited until I seen it for cheap and picked it up that way.
Okay.
So, funny story. I asked for New Blood when it came out, or New Order. When it came out, I asked for it for my birthday. And my wife got me like
the original,
yeah, like
for the 360,
like 2 generations away.
I guess I shouldn't say the original because the original was on PC.
Yeah, I was like, "What is this?" I had to be like, "Yay, best day ever!" I was so disappointed.
Other than that, I personally feel like Bethesda, their show visually was the presentation was awesome. I thought the way that they displayed everything was really cool. I think they did a really great job displaying it all. I'm kind of getting tired of seeing Skyrim.
Okay.
And I'm a little disappointed that the Skyrim VR for the PS4
is a separate game, man.
Separate game, and not just a patch, or even if you maybe just pay $20 for like DLC or something for it. Okay, $60 for it again when last year you just made us rebuy it?
So anybody that bought that with a VR has got to be furious.
Yeah.
Like,
I know I would be.
It's such a weird idea. I agree with that. That is ludicrous. Not the rapper.
I think it was just such a slap in the face to fans. You know what I mean? Personally.
Like, I agree with you, man. Like, wow, what a jerk. But there's no other way around it. But, I don't know. 60 is ridiculous, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It is stupid.
Anything else really catch you through Bethesda?
Not really. No, like I said, the Evil Within 2, I was really, really super
excited for that.
Only because I really like the first one, and I feel like a lot of people missed it.
Yeah.
Because it came out at a rough time. I think it came out like almost towards the beginning of the next gen, and the end of the old life cycles for themselves. I know a lot of people missed that game.
Which, it was so good.
Yeah. Terrifying in the beginning.
I would say the first half of it is super.
You know what I also like about the game is it's not an easy game. It doesn't hold your hand.
No.
But it's not so difficult that you don't play it. I feel like it was a perfect balance.
There wasn't a point where I was like, I can't do this. It was, all right, I can do this. I just need to go at it with a different...
Like I said, I do like the fact that there's a lot of gay enemies you had to run from that game. It didn't tell you that.
Yeah.
You just figured out after dying 89 times, maybe I should run. Not any spoilers away, but there's that one that you have to lock into the oven and fry. It's the only way to defeat her.
Yeah.
They gave you nothing.
No.
But eventually you
And
figure
she
it out.
just chases you the
yeah,
whole
you
time.
figure it. And it's terrifying. You get super nervous.
Well, I want to say out of all the enemies, that one was the one that freaked me out the most. I don't know what it is about the Ring, the Grudge. Women with really long hair hanging in front of their face
Crawling.
and crawling freaks me the hell out. I want to say another word, but I'm just going to hold it back. But I thought they did a really good job showing off some VR stuff. I thought Fallout VR is really cool.
Yeah.
Doom VR is really cool. I don't have a VR. I'm not really interested in getting a VR yet, but I think that this is a step in the right direction for VR, that they're getting full games rather than like these small experiences.
Yeah. I feel like the only VR I'll get is if that Nintendo rumor does come true, and we do get the Nintendo VR. That's the only VR I'll probably ever pick up.
Yeah, something brown on
Is
you.
it?
Yeah.
Like Nintendo's brand?
Yeah.
Here's my issue with the
It has
VR.
an N in it.
Here's my issue with the VR. I feel like I'm paying way too much for Sony's VR. Like, what is it? I think $400
Well, it's funny. Sony's is the cheapest.
for right now. I feel like if Nintendo does release,
I think if Nintendo did one, Nintendo would make it cheaper. I agree.
it's probably be $50 for something you just got to put the Switch into. That's it. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. I can agree with that. But that being said, how good would the quality be? You would have that huge screen in front of your face instead of like two little eye holes.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
VR is just expensive. Drop the price.
It is
It's
expensive,
like buying another system, man.
but it's an investment right now, and hopefully, I like seeing that people are getting games for it. Just like I said for the Switch, even though I'm not excited for the stuff, I'm not really excited for a lot of the stuff that VR is getting. I think it's cool that people are excited, and I think it's a step in the right direction.
You're stepping on.
Sucker.
You're stepping in the right direction.
All right. Lastly, let's talk about Sony's.
Bobby Lashley.
Lastly,
That's a wrestler. Sony, what can I say? Days gone.
yeah. So I was on
There goes my check. Okay, that looks good now.
the days are as gone as my check.
It looks really good. Once again, going back to your Facebook, I seen somebody say, "Yeah, it didn't look that great." Generic. That guy should be fault. Once again,
I do
What-
think.
what's wrong with people?
I don't know.
What do you have a big actor? The gameplay looked cool. It looks fun. Okay.
I do actually think I was on the fence with that game when they first showed it. I thought it looked cool, but I didn't see enough to be like, "Wow, I want that." This time, I loved the idea of not fighting everyone. Like when he just made that bear trap, threw the thing, got the guy stuck, didn't even kill the guy, because I thought what was going to happen was the typical, "All right, he's stuck. I'm going to take out these two guys, then take him out," because that's one guy that's already out of commission, basically, with his leg trapped. No,
he just walked out.
yeah, he was like, "Nah, I don't."
He's like, "Good luck."
And then the same thing happened when he got to the larger camp. He stuck by the zombies. Instead of going guns blazing against those guys, he was like, "There's a wall right here separating you guys from all those freaks zombies on the other side.
Let me just blow it.
I'm gonna let them do the dirty work."
And I did enjoy that about it. I also liked. You rarely get to see zombified animals in games.
That was so sick. He had God.
Yeah, like it's really rare to see it. And the fact those wolves look zombified, the bear looks zombified, it makes me wonder what kind of virus is in this game, if they're going to get into that. So I'm really excited. That's just cool actor they have attached to it.
Sam Witwer. Yeah, they really sold me on the game. I really want it now. That's something that I'm probably going to get day one whenever it comes out, which I'm surprised is not coming
Day
out.
one for Days Gone. Besides that, on Sony, what else looked good?
So
Spider-Man.
let's get into the small things real quick. The 2 DLCs. The Uncharted we saw some more gameplay of. What do you think of that?
It looks good. I know it's going to be shorter than they said any other Uncharted's.
Yes.
I think it looks really neat. I think me and you called this first when I say this is a trial run. Let's see how well this does without Nathan Drake being in it, and then we can continue without Nate Drake.
And it's looking like they can.
Yeah, it looks great. I think it looks fantastic. I feel like it's going to be a little predictable probably because we know where, if you played Uncharted 4, you know where one of those characters is heading.
Yes.
So we'll see, but to me it looked really good. I feel like Horizon Zero Dawn did a perfect job of getting me hyped without telling me anything. I have no idea what all this is. Looks like I know it's a volcano blocking out the sun.
Yeah, and that DLC's only $20.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be story-based.
Yes.
And it looks like, I know I know I watched an interview with the developers, and they were like, literally, the reason we only put so many robots in was because we had a time limit. They had so much fun. He's like, if we could have, we would have done hundreds of different kinds of robots. And I feel like that's what they're going to kind of do with their DLC is put some of those concepts they wanted to do that they couldn't. But
And then they'll probably save some for the next title as well. Apparently it's something in the volcano. I think what I gathered from it was there's a machine within the volcano causing that, which I'm super excited just to see what it is.
Yes.
A dragon?
Ooh, if it's a dragon! Oh.
Dragons are real.
Yeah. Robot dragon. Yeah, I think, plus, like I said, the first one was so fun for me. I feel like the only disappointment is I traded Horizon Zero Dawn in, not to rebuy it. And I know I'm going to rebuy it for the $20 download with it. So hopefully they re-release the game with that in it.
Like a Game of the Year edition. They probably will, but it probably wouldn't be until next year because it hasn't been out for a year yet. I'm just super excited for it. I'm glad that they're even putting out DLC because most games now, if it's going to have DLC, they have a season pass tied to it and all.
Right away, yeah.
So it's just nice to know that they're still supporting the game. I think it looks really cool. Once again, I find it interesting that you're right. It got me interested, and they really didn't show or tell me much.
I also feel like that game was so great. They could have been like, "Hey, we're doing some download content in it, and there's a volcano." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's good."
I do think that that game and Breath of the Wild kind of hurt one another. I think a lot of people who really enjoyed Horizon didn't really get Breath of the Wild maybe at the time it could have used. And the same thing with Breath of the Wild, people who really like that didn't really give Horizon.
I agree with you on that, only on the basis of I played Breath of the Wild first, finished Breath of the Wild first, and I was not, I want to say disappointed with Horizon Zero, but I did a lot of comparison while playing. Like, oh, why can't I do this like I could do in Breath of the Wild?
Like climbing.
Yeah, I feel like anybody that played Horizon Zero Dawn first, because you were really into Horizon Zero Dawn.
I loved
first,
Horizon.
probably did the same thing with Breath of the Wild.
And my problem with Breath of the Wild in comparison to Horizon wasn't gameplay, actually. I really enjoyed the gameplay of Zelda. It was the world felt empty in Zelda, and that the story just felt lacking in comparison.
Where Horizon, you couldn't go 2 steps without running into something. Like,
No.
Literally, that game. And it's surprising how big it was on the basis of how full that world was. And it wasn't always just enemies. There was always people walking through, always soldier side quests, that giant eagle that dropped better stuff than anything, but they were so hard to freaking kill.
Yep.
Oh, man. I remember when I shot an arrow at one of them, and it zoomed in and realized how big those things were when they got close. I was like, my mistake.
Same thing happened to me. I just ran.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, bye. Thank you. Have a nice day.
I'll see you later when I need to level up. But I know so many people that did platinumed that game just because how fun.
I got really close and then I stopped because other games were out and I just wanted to put some time into them. But the game's so good.
You're a nerd.
All right, let's move on. Monster Hunter World.
Why you do this to me?
That game,
We found out it's not exclusive.
it is not exclusive. It is coming to Xbox One and PC.
PS4. That trailer had everything I needed into it.
I agree. However, what I found weird, Switch is not getting a Monster Hunter at all in the US.
Japan. Yeah.
Japan is the only one getting Monster Hunter XX. And when asked why wasn't America getting it, they said they didn't want to put resources into porting it. They wanted to focus on the main title. Monster Hunter Worlds is Monster Hunter 5. It is not. It's not a spin-off like Generations or X was. This is the new Monster Hunter. I just thought it was odd that Nintendo has pretty much exclusively gotten Monster Hunter
every Monster Hunter for the longest time
since PS2 and PSP.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to me that they're not getting it this time.
So, well, I'll be honest. I feel like let's see how well this does on sales, because if it doesn't do well on sales,
It might just go right
I
back.
guarantee it'll do it, because it's been doing well on Nintendo. It's not like it hasn't. That's what surprised me. So I feel like maybe because how well it's doing on Nintendo,
Well,
they feel like
they did say that the power was one of the reasons they wanted to go with the new consoles. In previous Monster Hunter games, have you played one?
yes.
I was just making sure. Actually, we never really talked about one.
Well, I talked about hating the egg
That's right. That's right. Carrying the egg around because you couldn't run.
or anything. You
Yeah.
dropped it. It was like
Yeah,
but they're fun games.
they are fun.
Repetitive.
But they did say that this one will not have zones. It is one big world. You don't have to worry about loading in and loading out. So I'm really excited about that, and I guess they kind of felt that wasn't really possible
On the Switch.
on the Switch with maybe the graphics they're going for. We may get a Switch version that might just be slightly, less graphics, or maybe they have to take out some particle effects or something.
I'm just surprised that they're not porting over the other one, because I feel like translation is only what you really would need to worry about. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll
I
see.
actually agree with that. I was so shocked at that.
I'm disappointed, but I'd be more disappointed if we didn't get Monster Hunter Worlds coming out. And at least I know I got something I can play.
I agree.
America.
I am super excited for World. So is World a day one pickup for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Are you going to play with me?
He jumped on a T-Rex's face, and then a pterodactyl was coming through, and he hit him, and then pulled the pterodactyl towards the T-Rex. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm a simple man.
You better play with me.
I always love playing with you.
Thank you. Okay.
I really think, you know what was nice about this trailer too, is I feel like even people that weren't into Monster Hunter watching the trailer would be like, oh, that's something I'll try. That's
agree.
definitely a game that I feel like people that normally wouldn't play an RPG like that would definitely give it a try, only because how they presented the trailer. And I really liked the way the trailer started off, where you're like, what is this?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Right?
Which was funny because I was rewatching our video and I was like, man, Jesse guessed this really quick and early. I don't know how he did it, but he got it. Like, you saw the blades of grass, it was like Monster Hunter. And I was like, what? How did he even guess that?
I guess, and like I said, I've always been a big Monster Hunter fan. I guess, we've really never discussed how much I do like Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
But I think it's, overall, I definitely think, like, me and you would be somebody who would play it right away, just because we do like Monster Hunter. I feel like somebody, I'm trying to think of my coworker who only plays Survival Horror, I feel like watching this, he would give this a chance.
Okay.
Just because it looks fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks different, and it looks like a game that somebody can sink their teeth into, you know what I mean? It
I
doesn't-
definitely think once they also release more gameplay, it'll bring
I mean, if you go up to some random guy and was like, would you like to play a game where you can hunt dinosaurs down and play with your friends online? They're like, yeah.
I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus. Now, that was another one, though, that people on my Facebook page were like, oh, it's a remake of a remake of whatever. But I was kind of like, I don't understand what the problem is, because Nintendo does the same thing and you guys just buy it.
It's not even like I'm not comparing it to Nintendo. It's like it's not like okay. I'm gonna use a prime example. It's not like it's the re-release of Bulletstorm. I know I just got it.
Yeah.
But nobody asked for Bulletstorm. This is Shadow of Colossus. Like, are you kidding me?
This could be arguably one of the best games.
I feel like if you jumped 50 years into the future and you let somebody play Shadow of Colossus, you could even let them play the PS2 version of that game. The story, the gameplay, everything would give them the same emotions.
And it's just boss fights.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
But that's
about
what made it
the
about the game. And like, at the end of the day, and I don't want to ruin it for just anybody that's going to play it, but if you didn't feel something at the end of that game, there's something wrong with you.
I agree.
And it's not in English.
Yeah, they don't speak any English.
It gets ridiculous. Like,
And there's actually very few dialogue.
yeah, everybody I've talked to at that game really always has that same feel at the end. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't want to give it away. This is how much I respect this game. For anybody that's never played it, this is your opportunity to play it. And I feel like they're releasing it for anybody that hasn't got to play it. Like, I'm excited that I'm going to be able to pick this game up and let my son play it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they're releasing it for us, the fans who love this game. Like, Shadow of the Colossus is easily one of my top 10 games of all time. That game I still think about sometimes. I still think about how when I jam that sword into the Titan,
The little squirt
yeah.
when blood comes
Well,
out.
they also make these noises, and like you kind of feel bad. Like you're like, man, these guys sound like they're sad.
I'm like, I was working. I was still working at GameStop, and somebody had a tattoo of fur with a little sense point, and they had the guy crawling. I was
That's
like,
an awesome.
that was an
tattoo.
awesome tattoo. But that's what that game meant to somebody, and I agree. It's definitely in my top 10. Might even be my top 5 games. I just remember playing that game. And it's one of the only games where like you could be all the way up top. Some of these Colossuses were huge.
Massive.
Get thrown off. You're gonna get frustrated, but you're gonna go right back up there. You know what I mean? And it's one of them games I never rage quit.
Yeah.
I've rage quit a lot of games, but that was like
It's also one of the few games that you're on a horse, and like looking back that this happened on the PS2 blows my mind. You're on a horse, something swoops down flying,
Yeah.
you jump off the horse onto its wing, you have to hold onto its wing because while it's flying, it's like going too fast for it to move, you have to wait for it to level itself out just so you can run, and hopefully get to the point that you need to before it does like a barrel roll or something.
You gotta grab it again, like, and then the best thing about it was, well, how many Colossus was in there? 12?
Yeah, I believe it was 12.
13.
Yeah, it was 13.
There's 13 classes. I think it was planned to be 14 because there was the deleted one I talked about. And
Well, they said that they were adding more Colossus. Did you see that?
So I'm like, hopefully we're getting the deleted one because I've heard about a few that we were supposed to get. But every one of them felt like a different experience. Like
They did.
all of them were different. You know what I mean? The first bull one versus the one with the sword, underwater one, the bird.
I hated that like lion wolf one that was in that small den.
Oh yeah,
I hated him.
Only way you get it was on his back. Like yeah, that one wasn't. But that everybody had different classes that frustrated them too.
Yeah.
Like, I just remember climbing the tower to get to my favorite, which is the one with a sword. You climb that huge tower to get up to him, only for him to be bigger than the tower and have his spot on the top of his head. Like,
Well, I remember you couldn't climb him anywhere. You had to wait for him to slam his sword
and then
down.
You had to climb the sword.
Yeah,
Yep.
and let me not give any more spoilers because people are going to be like, "Oh, well, now I know how to get on this Titan." Well,
No,
let me tell you
You
something.
still don't
You
actually.
can get on him. It does not mean you're going to make it up there.
But yeah, I'm psyched about this game. I think
And they also never tell you how to increase your grip or your health. You had to figure that all out yourself. And I was like, man, this is crazy.
there's that game,
No tutorial.
No, it throws you in. It gives you no story. It's like, oh, dead girl, go. That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm not spoiling because literally how the game starts off: dead girl, go. That's it.
We already talked about Spider-Man. I don't think there's really much of a reason to go back to that. Detroit.
Detroit. It looks good. Somebody online said I don't know if they'd get as much attention if it wasn't for their cast. I could see that.
You think so?
Yeah, only because I can't tell you how the gameplay is for that because the trailer didn't do a good job with anything.
So here's what I'll say. I loved Heavy Rain. I wasn't a big fan of Beyond Two Souls. I didn't know any of the actors in Heavy Rain. I don't even know if they used real actors in Heavy Rain. When they went to real actors, I wasn't a big fan of Beyond Two Souls because I felt like they were selling the game off of the actress's name.
Oops.
I think they learned from that, and I think this game is going to be more like Heavy Rain, but it's going to have that.
So it's made by the people that developed Heavy Rain.
Yes, this is Quantic Dream.
Bless you. Same people that did. Okay, you know what? Like I said,
And if you like those games, you know what you're getting into. I believe that's why they didn't show too much gameplay, because if by then, you know what the gameplay is going to be.
turn right, turn left. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you though. I think Heavy Rain was an amazing game. I don't know anybody that's like gonna like Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I said, I'm excited for it. I'm not saying I'm not gonna get it, but I could see people saying that. The trailer, to me at least, the trailer looked very. Here's Jesse Williams' face a lot, but maybe that's just because I recognize him. You know what I mean?
That's true, too. I actually have never seen that guy. So to me, it wasn't like, okay, I know who that is.
Is it a first day purchase for me? It's more let you pick it up, tell me what you think, and then play it later kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So with that being said, though, I had never heard of it, and it did keep me intrigued the entire trailer. It's not like there was any part in the trailer that was like, boring. Like every part of the trailer. And to mention, it took me like halfway through the trailer, but like, through androids? Like, I had that moment. Like, I mean, Goku from the tournament. Androids can have kids? You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
So there's
Dragon Ball Z reference.
Yes, which is that new Dragon Ball Z fighting game.
What can you say besides...
I showed it to you, and you did not believe that was gameplay.
Yes. And
You
it looks
refused.
amazing. I'm excited to get a 2D Dragon Ball Z fighting game, because I'm not going to lie to you, I stopped playing after Budokai 2.
I actually stopped after the first Tenkaichi.
Bless you.
Thank you. But Budokai was probably my favorite, and I'm super excited for
I
this.
picked up, I forget what it was, I don't think I picked it up, or maybe I bought it used or something, but I tried one of the later ones, and I was like, what is this? And it was just too complicated. I was like, So this one, I'm actually really excited.
I want to see more of the roster. They only showed us 6 characters, which is fine. We know there's going to be probably a lot more, but man, visually.
How far do you think this goes storyline-wise?
Well, we did see Frieza go into gold mode, so we know it's up to Resurrection F.
You think that's going to be the story? You think it's going to go through, or you think it's going to be alternate retelling?
I think it's probably going to be an alternate retelling.
Like, because Budokai 1 followed all the way to the T to the Cell games.
Yes.
Did not go any farther.
And then
than
2 was the Buu Saga.
Well, 2 was the one that started out with the alternate storylines.
You're right.
Because Frieza arrives at the same time the Saiyans do, Cell comes in, and then Buu shows up. Like, so they went and changed the whole storyline that way.
That's right.
But,
I am excited, though, to see what they do.
and Yamcha, obviously, is going to be in the game. He's going to be the best character.
I kind of hope Chaozu's in it.
All right. I love you, Tian. Goodbye,
Tian. Chaozu!
Oh, man. It wouldn't it be great if Yamcha's in the game and he's like one-hit kills no matter what you do? You go to play as him and he just runs and you tap him. Oh, the game's like, slow down!
If you win as Yamcha, you still lose. He still says loser.
He falls over from exhaustion. Oh, man.
Poor Yamcha. So while we're on the topic of fighting games, Marvel vs. Capcom.
One, we've talked about it before. Story mode's awesome. I really do think Mortal Kombat 9 attempted the story mode. I feel like X is when they really hit their stride.
And I think everyone else saw that and was like, all right, we need to start nailing
people,
this.
I mean, one of the reviews that for X gave it an amazing review because how great the story was for that game. And I feel like same thing. Injustice 2 picked up from that and was like, we had a decent story in the first one. Let's not take advantage of that. Let's make an even better story. And then from what I heard, the new Tekken game does the entire whatever family story origin, which is cool. So the fact that this one looks like a story-based game looks amazing. And you know how much I love story.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they explain why all these characters are in the same universe. Like, one of the things I was thinking, like, yeah, to me, it can make sense that Captain America and Chris Redfield are in the same world, kind of, because they both look humanoid and the same size. But
Mega Man,
King Arthur,
yeah.
like, explain to me why there's a midget redhead ginger running around. Might have said the most hateful words in the world.
Someone is going to be listening to this that is a midget redhead.
Just remember rephrase this, a redheaded little person running around in armor.
We're real!
Yeah, but like honestly, like I hope they explain that because that's gonna be really
yeah. That being said, I just kind of let me say this before I say what I was about to say. Super excited for the game. Slightly disappointed. No Onimusha character. No Beautiful Joe.
Yeah, I really.
Some of these big Capcom characters I wanted to see, I was like, man, where are they? I kind of felt like they played it safe again with their pick. I honestly feel like the roster is really close to what we've already had.
I agree with you. I didn't see anybody new.
Besides Black Panther, Thanos, which most of the new characters, honestly, are like Marvel characters. We got Gamora.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. I don't remember seeing anybody. Oh, Mega Man X.
Well,
first time we're getting Mega Man X.
The first time we are getting X, and it's rumored that the Hunter from Monster Hunter is also in it, which is pretty cool. But still, if anything, I feel like you kind of took more characters out. If that's
I'm excited. I mean,
I'm getting it. Don't get me wrong. I'm still excited for the game.
It's rare for me to pick up a fighting game. You know what I mean? Especially after I was burned for Street Fighter V. You know what you did. You know what you did. Hopefully, this is your apology letter because of Street Fighter V.
I agree.
Because, wow. And if they pull the same crap Street Fighter V did, I will never buy another Capcom game. Except for Resident Evil and Mega Man if they re-release that. And Monster Hunter.
Or Onimusha.
Or Onimusha. Or Devil May Cry. Besides all that, though, never again. Street Fighter V. Oh, my God. I'm so pissed about Street Fighter V.
I think there's only one more game we really have to talk about. Could be wrong. God of War?
Yes.
Is that the last one?
Besides, I mean, anything big, and we can always go over it anytime extra. Or anything else
So we'll just talk about this one, and then we'll wrap up.
God of War. My only complaint about it, there was no number. It's just God of War again. I hate that.
Okay.
To me, it's confusing. Give me a name. Okay.
Even if it doesn't have a number behind it, at least have like a sub name or something. I can agree with that. So what about the trailer itself? What did
The trailer looked great to me. I do like the fact that they talk about his Greek origin in the trailer.
Yeah.
I'm really curious on when this takes place, timeline-wise.
But we know it's obviously after his whole Greek
Obviously, yeah.
mythology.
I'm wondering where they're going in the story. I'm wondering who that kid is. If that is his son, because the way the trailer makes it sound, it's his son. Who was the mother? What's going on with that story aspect? I'm really excited. I'm wondering if they're introducing that kid because they want to continue with this franchise, and this is the character they're planning on going with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I will say this: it's definitely taken a different turn for God of War. God of War has hit me with the feels before. 3 did a good job with the girl. Oh man, why can't I think of her name?
Pandora.
Pandora, yes. You know, when you go and you do the whole thing with Pandora, that kind of hit me a little bit. You know what I mean? But now it's kind of like, man, that's your son. He doesn't really seem like. It seems like he cares about the boy, but not so much to the point.
I'm wondering if they're going to get into the whole story aspect of the fact that he lost his daughter and he's having a trouble accepting like his son. Or did you ever play the ones for PSP?
Which one?
Not
Ghost
Chains
of
of
Sparta?
Wonders, Ghost of Sparta?
Yes.
In Ghost of Sparta, you have to push your kid off you. It's the only way to keep going in the game. And that, like you said, you want to feel the feels. Like, they make you press the button combination to be like, no, I have to save your life and push your daughter off you over and over. So, like, that's a tough thing. You know what I mean? Or maybe that was in Chains of Wonders. I don't remember. Either way.
Yeah, either way. It was one of the
It's one of those feeling moments. So, I feel like because of that, maybe they'll get into that. But I'm rather really curious where they're going
Do you think
storyline-wise.
maybe he's afraid to get attached to his son because he's afraid of losing
That's
him
what I'm
again, like
saying.
his daughter?
Is it his son? Is it going to be a revelation? I'm really curious on where they're going storyline with this. And by this point, how old is Kratos? Is he immortal because he's a god? I mean,
Because he obviously aged.
Yes. I mean, Norse mythology and Greek mythology aren't anywhere near each other, timeline-wise. So how long's it been since, this whole thing went down with Olympus? You know what I mean? Where's he been this entire time?
And I find it odd that we still haven't seen any of the Norse gods.
And it is weird not seeing Norse gods. And on top of that, if you remember how 3 ended, Athena, spirit or essence, had evolved into a new being, and it kind of left it open at the end. Kratos had taken all the power in of all the gods, sacrificed himself so it could be released so mankind could get a fresh start. Is this the fresh start that mankind's getting? Or what is it?
It's also
You know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah. We saw the giant serpent.
Yes.
I thought that was really cool.
He looked terrifying, though.
He did. Thought it was odd that he said that he wanted to help them instead of it being some sort of fight. I thought that would be pretty cool to fight a giant serpent, climb on it, and all.
The first game.
I
I do like the axe. I think that's a new awesome. You could have went safe and went with the chains and went with an axe. So I'm really excited about that.
I agree. I actually really like the axe as well. But I like that it kind of still can have the same function as the chains. He can still spin it around him because as long as he throws it, he has this aura that can bring it right back to him.
Yeah. Well, be honest, I wanted to change because I played Extinction, and because it played like all the other ones, by this point I was done. I was like, ugh, no. The fact that this looks something new and looks like it has newer gameplay, I'm really excited to try it out.
Plus, I thought it was interesting. I don't know if you caught it in the trailer. The boy is climbing on top of the enemies. He's distracting them, shooting arrows at them. I was like, that's pretty cool.
And Kratos has a sick beard.
He does have a sick beard. You were trying to grow out your little Kratos chin thing.
It just stopped.
Really?
Do
you think you're going to go to the whole beard?
I think I'm going to go with the whole beard now to match this Kratos. Let's just be honest, Kratos is black under that ash, so I'm cool with that.
He's not.
Yeah, well, agree to disagree, okay?
We've seen him without the ash.
I agree. I saw him as black, so that's what we're going to go with.
Okay. We do know that he wears all the ashes of the Spartans that have died, which that's crazy to me.
He is voiced by the guy from Living Single.
Yes. I think he does a really good job, actually.
I agree.
He does sound...
He's a skinny black guy in real life, and he sounds ginormous.
No. They have a new voice actor now. It's not the same voice actor for this Kratos as it was for the others.
What?
Yeah, which is what I thought was great, though, because this one still sounds similar, but older. Give me 1 second. Just fill up space with talk.
No, we'll talk. I'm upset right now. I'm upset that you didn't like Mario Odyssey. I'm upset that I bought that Optimus Prime you see sitting over there in 2006 and never opened it. That thing is over 10 years old, man.
Wow.
I know that. Yeah, that's great.
That is.
Fantastic. Should we open it? Nah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
It's just getting weird now.
Christopher Judge.
You're a judge.
He was in Stargate.
Oh, the black guy from Stargate.
Yes.
Oh, the one with the thing on his forehead.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's. All right, I'll take that. Not
Yeah,
bad.
he's voice acting him, which I thought was great because it still sounds like the Kratos we know.
Okay,
but he
you know
just
what?
sounds
I can
older.
understand that. Kind of like what they did with Metal Gear Solid 5. It was Big Boss, not Solid Snake. So replacing David Hayter was okay because he was older at one point. Because Big Boss was voiced by somebody completely different. So at some point in his life, this is what his voice sounds like. So okay, I'll give you that.
Thank you.
E3 overall, final thoughts.
I thought this E3 was great. I don't think it was amazing compared to previous E3s. And here's my only reason why. I felt like there weren't enough wow factors. I think we've been spoiled the past 2 years.
This was the first E3 we were kind of working though, man. I mean, you got to work through it.
Yes.
Because we do this podcast for you guys. I'm going to say I was very pleasantly surprised. I didn't hate anybody. There's years where like I'll hate Microsoft or I'll hate Sony's. Like all three of them did a good job. If I had to put it in order, it was Nintendo was my favorite. Sony was in close second. Microsoft a little disappointing, but overall I still liked it. Like I said, the biggest disappointment of Microsoft was look at all the shiny stuff I have. You want it? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, it's $1 billion. Still want it?
Eat shit and die.
Okay, I do want it, but it's a lot of money. So, E3.
Yeah. Guess we're going to have to wait and see what happens next year.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, you will, because you love Sony, so you got everything next year. Everything I want's coming out this year. So I'm good.
Wow.
Nintendo for life!
Wow.
Yeah, see what I did
I
there?
have plenty of third party coming out this year that I can live off of.
That's cute. That's nice. Mario, okay?
Oh.
Oh, you know what was third party? Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9 was third party.
Did you know that's getting a game on the Switch?
Is it? It's already out, isn't it?
No, they're getting Mighty Number 9 Cross Gunblade.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was episode 28 of The Enthusiast.
20 what?
8.
Get out of here, man. You're
Nope.
like 1 billion years old now. That's crazy.
Yeah, episode 28. This was our E3, what we thought of it, and
Sorry, there's
awesome.
not much news here. We just feel like E3 was something that took up a whole episode.
Yeah, I think next week we'll probably be back to our normal episodes, news and stuff like that. So look forward to that. But yeah, good episode.
Yes. Follow us again on SoundCloud, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yes.
All right. We always enjoy comments. Please comment below. Let us know what you think. Hit that like button, of course. And if you did not like it, hit that like button again. Really, really make us know by being sarcastic about your like button. And, of course, the dislike button is unable. Once again, you have any questions, always send us an email. And let us know what you thought of E3. Was I right in loving Nintendo? And Zabo, like always, was wrong?
Oh, my
And his
God.
craze of being a hipster and hating it? I just want to point out before the end of the episode, Mr. Zabo was like, all Nintendo's got to do is announce a few games and a Metroid game, I'll be happy. What did Nintendo do? Announce a bunch of games and Metroid. Still not happy, people. Still
Oh,
not
my
happy.
God.
What a hipster.
They didn't announce anything I wanted. Anyway,
Hipster.
that's episode 28 from The Enthusiast, and we are gone.
Peace.
Yes, cool. Now you're kidding.